Okay, so the next limitation is that under the 1987 Constitution, specifically Section 14, Paragraph 1 of Article 3, this states that no person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense without due process of law. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo pwedeng makagawa ng kahit na anong batas na ginagawa siyang criminally liable even without going through the process, no? Kailangan ang ating mga batas, specifically the criminal law, must be in accordance with the Constitution, specifically on due process. So, the next is excessive fines. So, hindi pwedeng gumawa ng batas na sobra yung fine or punishment na naka-indicate or parusa, no, naka-state in a specific law, because as we have said that every definition of law, every definition of a crime may kalakip na punishment yan, pero hindi din pwedeng sobra-sobra yung punishment na ginagawa natin. Again, this is on creating criminal laws, no? Yung mga paggawa ng mga criminal laws natin. Hindi rin pwede ang cruel, degrading, or inhumane na punishment. No, hindi tayo pwedeng gumawa ng batas na sabihin natin ang punishment nito is sausaw sa kumukulong tubig yung kanyang kamay kasi nagnakaw, no? That is cruel, that's inhumane. Although in our history, no, may mga ganyang punishment tayo sa mga sinaunang sibilisasyon, but in this case sa ating batas ngayon, bawal yung mga ganong punishment. Bawal din sabihin na sige, as a punishment, magsuot ka ng placard, tapos sabihin doon na magnanakaw ako, tapos ikot ka dyan sa plaza ng ilang beses, no? Hindi pwede yun because that's inhumane, that's degrading. Hindi pwede yung mga ganong klaseng punishment. So, bawal gumawa ng batas na ganong mga klase ang mga punishment or penalties ang ini-impose. Another constitution, these are the constitutional rights of the accused, no? As to the constitutional rights ng accused, ito rin yung limitation natin sa paggawa ng criminal law or ng batas, no? Hindi pwedeng gumawa ng batas na nagva-violate sa constitutional law, constitutional rights ng accused. So first, the presumption of innocence. According to law, every person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So, all respondents in a criminal case, all accused in a criminal case is to be treated innocent until nasabihin ng korte that he is guilty. Hanggat walang desisyon ang court declaring him to be guilty, he should be treated as innocent. Hindi siya pwedeng kunan ng karapatan, no, civil rights, karapatan niya, for example, towards his children, karapatang magmana, karapatang mag-manage ng properties niya, yung mga ganong rights, no, hindi dapat i-deprive siya doon. He should be labeled as innocent, no? Kasi, again, hanggat walang sinabi ang judge that he is guilty, he should be treated as innocent. Okay? Next is to be informed. Right to information of the nature and of the cause of accusation against him. person accused of a crime must be informed kung ano yung reklamo or yung kaso against sa kanya. Hindi pwedeng itago sa kanya yon, no? Kasi that is his constitutional right. Dito rin papasok yung Miranda doctrine natin, Miranda rights, na part that is an application of, or it's satisfying the right to information of the accused. Hindi pwedeng, ay secret, basta pumunta ka na lang doon, gano'n. Hindi pwede gano'n, no? So, kailangan informed siya of the nature, sino ang nagkaso sa kanya, ano yung kaso, and this is to give him ample time to defend himself, no? To prepare his defense. Another is to be present and defend in person and by counsel at every stage of the proceedings from arraignment hanggang promulgation ng judgment. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya pwedeng pagbawalan, no, na pumunta sa mga hearings niya para depensahan yung sarili niya. Hindi rin pwedeng i-deprive mo siya sa kanyang right to counsel. No, may karapatan ang every individual to be represented by a lawyer. No, nasa Miranda rights din yan, Miranda doctrine. To testify as witness in his own behalf. No, ibig sabihin, pwede karapatan niya ang mag-testify, no? Kung gusto niya mag-testify of that case na kinakaharap niya, hindi mo siya general rule, no? The general rule is that you cannot deprive him to become a witness, no? To defend himself. Next is to be exempt from being compelled to be a witness of himself. Hindi mo rin siya pwedeng pilitin na maging witness, no? Hindi mo siya pwedeng i-force na dapat mag-take ng witness stand itong akusado para malaman natin, kasi it is his right to refuse, no, to become witness, no? That is a constitutional right of an accused. Sixth is to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against him in trial. Yun na nga, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-deprive na mag-attend ng trial niya because he wants to see sino bang nagreklamo sa kanya, no? That's the general rule. Another is to have a compulsory process issued to secure the attendance of witnesses. Ito yung right to compel, no? Ang akusado, hindi mo siya pwede i-compel na maging witness. Pero, itong number 7, yung mga witnesses of a case, pwede nyo silang i-require to be present and become witnesses, especially if their statement is very important in establishing the case, no? So, dyan, nag-i-issue ang court ng yung mga subpoena, dyan nag-i-issue ng mga yung contempt power, no? Pwede siyang kasuhan ng contempt if hindi niya finalo or hindi niya sinunod yung utos ng korte to be present during trial to become witness. Next is to have a speedy, impartial, and public trial. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng pinapatagal, no? Dinidelay natin yung trial, no, ng accused, kasi the more na tumatagal yung kaso, kawawa naman yung accused, andun lang siya sa kulungan, no? Hindi nagpo-progress yung kaso niya. However, in our jurisdiction, you might wonder, akala ko ba ma'am, dapat speedy, but inaabot ng dekada, ilang taon ang kaso bago matapos? Because of the number of cases handled by judges, they cannot dispose a case na ganun kabilis, no? Kasi kunyari may hearing ngayon, tapos may nagkasakit, hindi natuloy, hindi mo yan siya agad-agad na i-reschedule kinabukasan, because most likely the schedule for the following day is full, no? Puno na yung schedule. Ang next na available na schedule na is sa isang buwan or ilang buwan pa, or weeks or buwan ang mag-pass, no? So ganun karami kasi ang mga kaso na hinahandle ng isang korte. So next is to appeal in all cases allowed and in the manner prescribed by law. In case na matalo siya, the accused na matalo sa lower court, may karapatan siya na i-apila, no, yung kaso niya to the next court in rank. So ano ngayon yung scope and characteristics of criminal law? So dito papasok yung concept of generality, no? General rule. Penal laws are obligatory on all persons. This is the concept of generality, no? Generality. Obligatory on all persons who live or sojourn in the Philippine territory regardless of nationality, gender, personal circumstances, subject to principles of international law. Ibig sabihin nito, lahat ng individuals, no, regardless of kanyang national, kahit na hindi siya Filipino citizen, kahit na nag-travel lang siya sa Philippines, hindi siya nakatira dito, basta nandito siya sa Philippines, he is within the Philippine territory, he is obligated to follow Philippine laws. Ibig sabihin, dito papasok yung discussion na shinare ko on the national territory, because we have to identify up to which extent yung teritoryo ng Pilipinas, because all persons na nasa loob ng teritoryo ng Pilipinas should be under the Philippine law. So kung sabi ng Philippine law bawal, kahit na Amerikano pa siya, hindi siya pwedeng maging excuse na hindi siya pwedeng maging excuse na hindi niya ifa-follow yung Philippine law, no? So kung remember ninyo yung discussion on the national territory, there are places even outside the archipelago, no, outside the Philippine archipelago, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, may mga teritoryo dyan na considered to be under the Philippine territory, considered to be the extension of the Philippine territory. Pag nasa Philippine aircraft or sa barko, no, na airship or Philippine airship, barko, eroplano, yung embassy, no, yan sila ay mga extensions ng teritoryo ng Pilipinas. If we are inside that territory, Philippine law applies. Okay? In terms of except yung mga treaty stipulations, may mga treaties tayo, may mga certain people exempted from this rule, no, like yung mga may mga certain public officials, no, na kahit na nasa teritoryo na siya ng Pilipinas, they are still excused, no, to follow the Philippine law, like yung sa visiting forces agreement natin, no, na we have a stipulation there sa Visiting Forces Agreement na in case an American soldier commits a crime inside the Philippines, may jurisdiction ang American courts, di ba? May mga issues na ganyan na dito nangyari yung krimen pero bakit sa Amerika dinidinig yung kaso? No? Because may certain agreement tayo with the United States regarding that. Meron din tayong the power to define and punish crimes. I have already discussed this. Naulit yung slide, no? Alright. So, yun. The next discussion will be shared as soon as I have already prepared the slide. So, that would be all for today.